The 2023 United States Track and Field Championships have finally arrived, and we have a huge amount of talent, from world record holders and world #1 ranked athletes this season set to compete in this championship event. However, another athlete that many people are looking at right now that hasn't quite lived up to typical expectations this season is Matthew Boling from the University of Georgia. Now, last season, Boling had a pretty solid year, competing in the 100 and the 200 meters primarily. He ran under 10 seconds for the 100, and he ran a very solid time of 19.92 for a new 200-meter personal record. Also, he made it all the way to the United States Finals, competing against athletes such as Noah Lyles, Kenny Bednarek, Fred Kerley, and Ariane Knighton. However, this season hasn't quite been the same, with season's best times being significantly slower than last year. However, when it comes to the national championships, Boling is set to compete in this event this season. However, instead of the 100 and the 200, he's running in the 200 meters and the 400 meters. Now, many people have been saying for years that the 400 meters is ultimately going to be his best event. He's run many incredible relays, he obviously has pretty solid sprinting strength. However, he only has a personal record of 45.58 seconds, which he ran this season at the New York Grand Prix. Now, we have seen flashes of absolute brilliance when it comes to Boling running in 4x400 meter relays. Back when he was in high school, he actually split a 44.8 second 400. And then this year in the Texas relays, he split a time right around 43.8. Now, I'm not exactly sure what happened from this year's indoor campaign to the outdoor season, because Boling was running pretty well during the end of his indoor campaign, and throughout most of this outdoor season, he was just struggling, not quite hitting the times that we're typically seeing from him. However, I am very excited to see him competing in the 400, and his first race actually goes down today. He will be running at 8:23 p.m. Eastern Time in the fourth heat of the men's 400, and in his race, he will be competing against Elijah Godwin, who's actually his own teammate from the University of Georgia. He'll be competing against Will London and also Ja'Cory Patterson, who also comes from the Southeastern Conference in the NCAA. Now, Boling's chances in the 400 meters are pretty decent, I suppose. He actually comes into this race with the slowest personal record in this fourth heat, and he comes in with the third slowest season's best, again at 45.58. Now, he's only raced one open 400 for the past 4 or 5 years, I believe, and even though he only ran a 45.58, he went out super quick, opening his first 200 meters at around 21.5. Now, the 400 meters is definitely an exciting prospect, and many people do think that Boling has pretty solid potential in this event, but he's also running in the 200 meters, which is set to kick off this Saturday evening at 7:43 p.m. Eastern. Now, I am just gonna go ahead and say it. Boling will almost certainly not make the US team in this men's 200. This is quite possibly the single deepest and most difficult field to make out of pretty much any team in the entire world. You've got athletes such as Kenny Bednarek, various sub-20-second performances over the past few years. You've got Ariane Knighton, constantly breaking records in the junior division. You've got Josephus Lyles, who once again is looking to go under 20 seconds. You've got athletes such as Michael Norman. You've got Terrence Laird. You've got Courtney Lindsay, and you've also got Christian Coleman, who's low-key one of the more consistent 200-meter runners in the world. I'm not sure if he has the ability to make this team in the 200 meters, but he does have a personal record of 19.85. It is almost a guarantee that you will need to run under 19.9 and potentially under 19.8 just to make the US team in the 200 meters. And with a season's best time of 20.17 and again a PR of 19.92, Boling does come into this race with some good times to his name. And while I certainly am excited to watch him race again, this is going to be a very difficult event, not just to make the team, but even to make it into the finals. Like many other NCAA athletes, Boling has had a very long 2023 season. From the indoor campaign to the outdoor season to multiple championship events, he's already raced close to 40 times this season. And with such a long season, and now the US Championships finally going down, I would love to hear from all of you. How fast do you think Matthew Boling will run in this year's US Nationals, and which event do you think he'll run better in, the 200 meters or the 400 meter distance? Thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, until next time.